Admiral Do-hyun stood by the large window of the UES Indomitable. His eyes were fixed on the space in front of him. Suddenly, hundreds of alien ships appeared out of nowhere. They were big, shiny, and had strange marks on their sides. These were the ships of the Galactic War Council. Earth had ships too, but not nearly as many as the aliens. Do-hyun's face stayed calm, but his hands gripped the rail tightly. 3 days ago, the aliens had sent a message to Earth. It was simple: give up or die. The aliens wanted Earth to surrender all its land and resources. They gave humans 3 days to prepare for a surrender ceremony. "This is crazy," Do-hyun had said when he first heard the message. He was sitting in the main meeting room with all of Earth's top leaders. The room was filled with military officers, scientists, and government officials from every major country. "They think we're weak," said General Subin, the head of Earth's combined military forces. She was a short woman with sharp eyes and a reputation for being tough. "They expect us to just give up without a fight." "What do we know about them?" asked Dr. Hoon, Earth's leading alien expert. He pushed his glasses up his nose as he looked at the data on his screen. Subin pressed a button, and a 3D image of the alien fleet appeared above the table. "They call themselves the Galactic War Council. They're made up of 11 different alien species. The leaders are these ones." She pointed to a tall, insect-like creature. "The Velrikians. They've conquered 15 other planets in the last 50 years. And now they want Earth," Do-hyun said quietly. "Yes, but they don't know what we've been hiding," Subin said with a small smile. "Operation Hydra is ready." Now, 3 days later, Do-hyun watched as the alien fleet moved closer, to Earth. Around him, the bridge of the Indomitable was busy but quiet. The crew worked at their stations, their faces showing both fear and determination. "They're calling us, Admiral," said Lieutenant Jia from her communications station. Her voice was steady, but her fingers trembled slightly as they moved across her screen. "Put them on the main screen," Do-hyun ordered. The large screen at the front of the bridge lit up. On it was the face of an alien. It had 6 eyes arranged in a pattern across its face. Its skin looked hard like armor, and was decorated with strange markings. This was Ambassador Torg of the Velrikians. "Human representatives," the alien said, its voice deep and cold. "Your time is up. We want your surrender broadcast now on all channels. We will let your people live, but you will no longer rule yourselves. If you refuse, we will destroy your planet." Do-hyun felt a flash of anger but kept his face calm. Next to him, General Subin had arrived on the bridge just minutes before. She gave him a small nod. They had spent the last 3 days not preparing to surrender, but getting ready for something the aliens would never expect. "Ambassador," Do-hyun replied, "humanity has an answer for the Council." He nodded to Officer Tae at the communications station. Tae pressed a button, but instead of sending a surrender message, he sent battle plans to every ship in Earth's fleet. "What is this?" Torg demanded, its 6 eyes blinking rapidly. "Where is your surrender?" "You made a big mistake," Do-hyun said calmly. "You thought we would beg for mercy. Humans don't beg." As he spoke, 50 ships in Earth's orbit that looked like normal transport vessels suddenly changed. Their outer shells fell away, revealing powerful weapons that the aliens' scans had not been able to see. "We have a third option," General Subin said, stepping forward. "You leave our star system, or we show you what happens when you corner humans." The alien's face showed surprise, then anger. "This is foolish. You cannot win against our fleet. Your weapons are nothing compared to ours." "Are you sure about that?" Do-hyun asked. He pressed a button on his command panel. "Captain Jin-ho, you may begin." In the space between Earth's fleet and the alien armada, a shimmer appeared in the emptiness. Then another and another. Suddenly, 200 small fighter ships appeared out of nowhere as if they had been invisible until now. "Impossible," Torg shouted. "Our scans showed no such vessels." "That's because we didn't want you to see them," Do-hyun said. "Humanity has been preparing for this day for a long time, Ambassador. We knew we weren't alone in the universe. We've been watching the stars for centuries, waiting." Jin-ho's voice came through the communication system. Stealth fighters in position, Admiral. Phase 1 ready to begin. What is this deception? Torg demanded. You cannot hope to defeat us with these few ships. We don't need to defeat your entire fleet, Subin said. We just need to defeat you. On the screen, they could see confusion spreading through the alien fleet. The neat formation of ships began to break slightly as captains tried to adjust to the sudden appearance of Earth's hidden fighters. Last chance, Ambassador, Do-hyun said. Leave our system in peace, or face the consequences. Torg made a harsh sound that might have been a laugh. The Council does not retreat. We have conquered worlds far more advanced than yours. Your tricks won't save you. Do-hyun sighed. I was hoping you would be reasonable. He looked at Officer Tae. Cut the transmission. The alien's face disappeared from the screen. In its place was a view of space with the alien fleet hanging like deadly stars against the blackness. All ships, this is Admiral Do-hyun, he said into the communication system. Begin Operation Hydra. Phase 1, execute. Jin-ho's voice answered, Understood, Admiral. Executing Phase 1 now. The small human fighters moved with incredible speed, darting between the larger alien vessels. The aliens fired their weapons, but the human ships seemed to flicker and shift, hard to hit. They're using the new shield technology, Subin said, watching the battle unfold. Dr. Yuna's invention is working perfectly. The quantum displacement shields were just the beginning, Do-hyun said. Wait until they see what else we've been keeping secret. As they watched, small explosions began to appear on some of the alien ships. Not enough to destroy them, but enough to disable their weapons and communications. Phase 1 is working, Subin said. They never expected us to fight back. Their intelligence on Earth is outdated. Do-hyun nodded. They thought we were divided and weak. They didn't realize that the threat of extinction would unite humanity like nothing else ever has. On the screen, they could see confusion spreading through the alien fleet. Some ships were moving forward aggressively, while others seemed to be holding back, unsure. The Council is not used to resistance, Do-hyun said. They're used to species that surrender immediately out of fear. Then they picked the wrong planet to threaten, Subin replied. Earth does not surrender. The battle had just begun, but already the humans had achieved something the Galactic War Council had thought impossible. They had surprised the unbeatable enemy. The Council had thought humans would beg for mercy. Instead, humans were showing them what it meant to fight for survival. Prepare for Phase 2, Do-hyun ordered. Let's show the Council exactly what humanity can do when pushed too far. The Council had not expected resistance. Their intelligence suggested humans were fractious, prone to internal conflicts, and technologically inferior. What they hadn't accounted for was humanity's greatest strength, adaptation, born from adversity. Captain, Jin-ho's stealth corvette, the Mantis, led the first strike team deep into the Council's formation. Their ships utilized a technology the aliens had dismissed as theoretical, quantum displacement shields that absorbed energy weapons and redirected the force. All units, execute pattern sunset, Jin-ho commanded, her voice calm despite the chaos erupting around them. The human fleet moved with unexpected precision. Rather than engaging in conventional space combat, they implemented guerrilla tactics developed from centuries of asymmetric warfare on Earth. From the Council flagship, Supreme Commander Vex watched in disbelief as human vessels seemingly phased through their defensive screens. Impossible, he bellowed. Their technology is primitive. His tactical officer, a Selenite named Crux, studied the data frantically. Sir, they're not using conventional propulsion. They've somehow weaponized their planet's magnetic field to create localized gravity wells. On the UES Relentless, engineer Min watched her creation in action. The Grav-Lance system was her brainchild, a propulsion system that could briefly harness and focus gravitational forces, allowing human ships to execute maneuvers that defied conventional physics. Status report, she demanded, fingers flying across her console. Grav-Lance functioning at 94% efficiency, her assistant reported. Council vessels are unable to get a targeting lock. The battle plan had been meticulously crafted by Earth's unified defense forces. For the first time in human history, all nations had set aside their differences in the face of extinction. The Council had unwittingly united humanity in ways centuries of diplomacy had failed to achieve. As Jinho's strike team penetrated deeper into enemy territory, they deployed their secondary weapons, nanite clusters that attached to Council ships, and began systematically disabling their navigation systems. Phase 1 complete, Jinho reported back to command. Moving to Phase 2. The Council had expected surrender. Instead, they were facing an enemy that fought like nothing they had encountered in their millennia of galactic conquest. On the big alien ship called the Indomitable Decree, Commander Vex was facing a problem he had never seen before. The 11 different alien groups that made up the Galactic War Council were fighting with each other. This had never happened before. Usually they attacked a planet and the people there gave up right away. "These humans are wild animals," shouted Zeth, the leader of the crystal-like Arctonians. His body glowed bright red with anger. "We should just destroy their planet now." Ambassador Torg, the six-eyed alien who had told the humans to surrender, was quiet. His people were known for gathering good information about their enemies, but they had been very wrong about the humans. "Our information was wrong," Torg finally said. "The humans have been hiding what they can really do." "That's not possible," Zeth yelled back. "Our machines showed they had old space travel technology and weak weapons." "But look out there," said General Ira of the Kelborn aliens. She pointed to the space battle on the big screen. "Their ships are moving through our ships like they're not even there, and half of our fleet's machines are breaking down." Meanwhile, on the human ship UES Indomitable, Admiral Do Hyun was reading a report from a secret human spy in the Alien Council. For many years, humans had thought they might not be alone in space. They had planned for this day. Operation Silent Shadow had placed human spies among different alien groups. These spies pretended to be weak while gathering information about the aliens. Agent Han, a human spy pretending to be a low-level worker for the Selenite aliens, had been their eyes and ears in the Council for 15 years. His latest message showed that the Council was starting to fall apart. "The Council is breaking up," Do Hyun told his officers. "The Kelborn aliens are thinking about changing their minds and the Selenites want to leave." Lieutenant Jia looked at the battle map on her screen. "Their ships are not staying in formation anymore. The Arctonians are moving forward by themselves, while the Velrikian ships are just sitting there." General Subin smiled a little. "Just as we thought they would. Start Operation Broken Sky." All across the battle, human ships suddenly changed how they were fighting. Instead of fighting all the alien ships, they only attacked the Arctonian ships. They knew exactly where these ships were weak and how to hurt them. From his hiding place, Agent Han watched as the alien leaders started to argue and blame each other. The Arctonians demanded help from the others. The Kelborn wanted to stop and think. The Selenites were counting how much they were losing in this fight. The Council had never fought anyone like the humans before. Humans didn't just fight with weapons. They fought with secret information by making their enemies fight each other, and by being willing to take losses that would have made other aliens give up. "Now I get it," said Commander Vex, watching his united council fall apart. This was the humans' plan all along. In a small hidden room on the Selenite ship, Agent Han sent another secret message to Earth. He looked like a Selenite alien on the outside with pale blue skin and 4 arms. But inside the special suit was a human who had trained for years for this mission. His real name was Hyun Ki, but he had used the name Han for so long that it felt like his real name now. "The Council is fighting among themselves," Han wrote in his message. "The Arctonians want to attack right away. The Kelborn want to talk, and the Selenites are afraid of losing too much." On Earth, in the underground command center beneath Seoul, Dr. Yuna received Han's message. She had worked with Han for 10 years, preparing for this day. She immediately called Admiral Do Hyun. "It's working," she said. "The Council is breaking apart just like we hoped." Do Hyun was watching the battle from the bridge of his ship. The human fleet was taking some damage, but not nearly as much as the aliens. The Arctonian ships were being hit hard by the focused human attack. "How long until we can use the special weapon?" he asked. "1 more hour," Dr. Yuna said. "We need to be sure all systems are ready." The special weapon wasn't really a weapon at all. It was information. For years, humans had been gathering secrets about all the alien species in the Council. They learned that the Council wasn't really united. Each alien group was using the others for their own goals. There were old fights, broken promises, and secret plans that the different aliens had never told each other about. "Send in the Eclipse team," Do-hyun ordered. Captain Jin-ho's special team of 5 small, fast ships moved toward the heart of the alien fleet. These ships had the best stealth technology humans had ever made. They could get very close to the alien ships without being seen. "We're in position," Jin-ho reported, "ready to deploy the data package." On the Council ship, the fighting between the alien leaders was getting worse. "My ships are being destroyed while yours just sit there," Zeth screamed at Torg and the other leaders. "You are betraying the Council." "We are not betraying anyone," said the Selenite leader, a thin alien with 4 arms. "We need to think about what we're doing. These humans are not what we expected." "They're just humans," Zeth shouted. "Weak, primitive creatures." "Look at what these primitive creatures are doing to your ships," Ira of the Kelborn said, pointing to the screen where more Arctonian ships were being disabled by the human attacks. Just then, a young Velrikian officer ran into the room. "Supreme Commander, we've detected unusual energy readings from 5 small human ships. They're right in the middle of our fleet." Vex stood up quickly. "Destroy them immediately." But it was too late. Jin-ho's team had already started sending the special data package. It wasn't just going to the Council's main ship, it was going to every ship in their fleet. "Transmission complete," Jin-ho told Do-hyun. "The truth is out there now." All across the alien fleet, screens started showing secret information. The Arctonians saw proof that the Velrekians had sabotaged one of their colony worlds. The Kelborn saw that the Selenites had stolen technology from them. The Selenites saw that the others had been planning to reduce their power in the Council. Every dirty secret, every betrayal, every lie that the Council members had told each other over hundreds of years was now being shared with everyone. "What is happening?" Vex demanded, as his own screen filled with proof that his people had planned to betray their allies. "The humans," Torg said, finally understanding. "They didn't just study our weapons and ships. They studied us, our history, our politics, our secrets." "This is human trickery," Zeth shouted, but even he could see that the documents on the screens were real. The Galactic War Council had come to Earth as a united force to conquer a primitive planet. Now they were falling. Apart, their secrets exposed, their trust destroyed, and the humans weren't done yet. Dr. Yuna stood in Earth's most secure facility, deep beneath the Korean peninsula. Around her, the fruits of humanity's secret weapons program hummed with barely contained energy. Project Prometheus had been humanity's contingency plan, a technological leap born from desperation and ingenuity. "Antimatter containment at optimal levels," reported her colleague Dr. Jun. "Quantum entanglement network is stable across all 27 satellites." Yuna nodded, her expression solemn. "Let's hope we don't need to use it." In orbit, the battle had reached a critical phase. The divided Council fleet was still formidable, but the human forces had succeeded in creating chaos within their ranks. Captain Jin-ho's strike team had penetrated to the heart of the enemy formation, targeting command and control systems rather than attempting to destroy ships outright. "We've reached the primary objective," Jin-ho reported, her corvette taking evasive action as Arctonian cruisers attempted to box them in. "Deploying Whisper protocol now." The Whisper was perhaps humanity's most elegant weapon, not a device of destruction, but one of revelation. Developed by Dr. Yuna's team, it was a quantum information packet that, once introduced to the Council's communication network, would expose the classified archives of each member species to all others. Aboard the Indomitable Decree, the effect was immediate and devastating. Council members watched in horror as their most closely guarded secrets, political assassinations, resource theft, planetary genocides, and betrayals against fellow Council members, were broadcast across all frequencies. "What is the meaning of this?" Supreme Commander Vex demanded. But even as he spoke, his own terminal displayed evidence of Velrikian plots against allied species. High General Ira of the Kelborn rose from her seat, mandibles flared in fury. You orchestrated the nebula plague that decimated our outer colonies? Ambassador Torg backed away as multiple council members turned accusatory eyes toward the Velrekians. This is human deception. Those are authentic archive codes, the Selenite representative interrupted, each verified by our own cryptographic standards. In the chaos that followed, few noticed the transmission from Earth until Admiral Do-hyun's face appeared on the main view screen. Members of the Galactic War Council, he began, his voice calm and measured. What you are witnessing is merely a demonstration. Humanity possesses the complete archives of every council species, your military deployments, your biological weaknesses, your technological vulnerabilities. He paused, allowing the implication to sink in. We didn't want this war. We still don't. But make no mistake, if you force our hand, we will not merely defend ourselves. We will ensure that the Council, as it exists today, will not survive. Part 5, not mercy, but respect. 3 months after what became known as the First Contact Crisis, Admiral Do-hyun stood in the newly constructed Galactic Embassy in Seoul. The sleek building represented something unprecedented, Earth as an independent, power negotiating with the former council members as equals, not conquests. Ambassador Torg, now representing only the Velrikian Imperium rather than the dissolved Galactic War Council, approached with a formal bow, a human gesture that would have been unthinkable before. Admiral, the treaty ratifications are complete, Torg said. All former council species have recognized Earth sovereignty and territorial claims. Do-hyun nodded. And the reparations for the aggression? Being processed as agreed. The technology exchanges will begin next month. Nearby, Dr. Yuna and Engineer Min were deep in conversation with scientists from 3 different alien species, already collaborating on projects that would benefit both human and non-human worlds. General Subin entered with Captain Jin Ho, both now decorated as heroes of the defense. The last of the observation posts have been dismantled from our system's edge, Subin reported, and our monitors confirm the withdrawal is complete. Do-hyun allowed himself a small smile. Not exactly how first contact was supposed to go. Jin Ho shrugged. They came expecting to find primitives who would beg for mercy. Instead, they found equals who demanded respect. In the atrium below, human and alien diplomats mingled, negotiating trade agreements and cultural exchanges. Earth's rapid acceptance into the galactic community had surprised everyone, including humans themselves. Agent Han, his cover identity, no longer necessary, joined them on the balcony. The former council species are still reeling from the revelations. Some are facing internal revolutions. Others are forming new alliances. The balance of power has shifted completely. And humanity's position? Do-hyun asked. Surprisingly strong, Han replied. Our willingness to negotiate rather than press. Our advantage has earned respect. They expected vengeance but received diplomacy instead. Do-hyun looked out at the gathering below where Earth's future was being shaped through words rather than weapons. They needed to understand something fundamental about humanity. What's that? Asked Yuna, joining them. That we never wanted, to rule or conquer. We just refused to be ruled or conquered. Do-hyun gazed at the stars becoming visible in the evening sky. The council thought humans would beg for mercy because that's what they would have done. They projected their own fears onto us. And now? Jin Ho asked. Now they understand that humanity doesn't want mercy or submission from others. Just mutual respect. Do-hyun smiled fully now. And if necessary, we'll fight to earn it. In the years that followed, humanity would expand to the stars not as conquerors or subjects, but as partners in a new galactic community, one built on the understanding that had emerged from that first, nearly catastrophic encounter. The universe was large enough for different species to thrive together, but only if each recognized the fundamental dignity of the others. The Galactic War Council had thought humans would beg for mercy. Instead, Humans taught them about respect. 3 months after what became known as the First Contact Crisis, Admiral Do-hyun stood in the newly constructed Galactic Embassy in Seoul. The sleek building represented something unprecedented, Earth as an independent power negotiating with the former council members as equals, not conquests. Ambassador Torg, now representing only the Velrekian Imperium rather than the dissolved Galactic War Council, approached with a formal bow, a human gesture that would have been unthinkable before. "Admiral, the treaty ratifications are complete," Torg said. "All former council species have recognized Earth's sovereignty and territorial claims." Do-hyun nodded. "And the reparations for the aggression?" "Being processed as agreed. The technology exchanges will begin next month." Nearby, Dr. Yuna and Engineer Min were deep in conversation with scientists from 3 different alien species, already collaborating on projects that would benefit both human and non-human worlds. General Subin entered with Captain Jin Ho, both now decorated as heroes of the defense. "The last of the observation posts have been dismantled from our system's edge," Subin reported. "And our monitors confirm the withdrawal is complete." Do-hyun allowed himself a small smile. Not exactly how First Contact was supposed to go. Jin Ho shrugged. They came expecting to find primitives who would beg for mercy. Instead, they found equals who demanded respect. In the atrium below, human and alien diplomats mingled, negotiating trade agreements and cultural exchanges. Earth's rapid acceptance into the galactic community had surprised everyone, including humans themselves. Agent Han, his cover identity, no longer necessary, joined them on the balcony. The former council species are still reeling from the revelations. Some are facing internal revolutions, others are forming new alliances. The balance of power has shifted completely. "And humanity's position?" Do-hyun asked. "Surprisingly strong," Han replied. "Our willingness to negotiate rather than press. Our advantage has earned respect. They expected vengeance but received diplomacy instead." Do-hyun looked out at the gathering below, where Earth's future was being shaped through words rather than weapons. They needed to understand something fundamental about humanity. "What's that?" asked Yuna, joining them. "That we never wanted, to rule or conquer. We just refused to be ruled or conquered." Do-hyun gazed at the stars becoming visible in the evening sky. "The council thought humans would beg for mercy because that's what they would have done. They projected their own fears onto us." "And now?" Jin Ho asked. "Now they understand that humanity doesn't want mercy or submission from others, just mutual respect." Do-hyun smiled fully now. "And if necessary, we'll fight to earn it." In the years that followed, humanity would expand to the stars not as conquerors or subjects, but as partners in a new galactic community, one built on the understanding that had emerged from that first, nearly catastrophic encounter. The universe was large enough for different species to thrive together, but only if each recognized the fundamental dignity of the others. The Galactic War Council had thought humans would beg for mercy. Instead, humans taught them about respect.